and welcome to the Thursday show. This is your weekly meta report for the weekend coming tournaments for 40K. I am going to be one of your hosts tonight, Dustin, Henshaw, joined by the illustrious Adam Camilleri, who's only pretending to be frozen.
Correct.
Okay,
How'd you know?
sure.
Because we were
Just
just
make
talking.
I know your fake face. I know your fake face.
Yeah, I could never be that handsome in a still. It's true. And welcome to another fantastic weekend of 40K. We have a big fatty super major again from the UK. Seems like there's one every other week, but in fact, it's just one a month. We've also got I think it's the biggest event that's happening in the Pacific Northwest around this time of year. This is Merry Slaaneshmass, got that coming up. In addition, a nice sized GT out of Barcelona, Spain. How you doing this week, brother? We've got a bit of an interesting, stable kind of calm seas in the meta at the moment.
Yeah, it's an interesting time. It's almost like I'll say the calm before the LVO storm, because LVO is coming up quick on us, right? People are they're starting to actually get their lists all evened out. They're trying to figure out what's working, what's not. They need to get it ironed out because they need to place well at LVO, what's coming up. And I think this is time we're going to start to see some wonky stuff in the meta.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I'm hoping for, because usually people already have the points that they need with the armies they have, unless
Exactly
maybe
right.
a couple exceptions. But most of the time, people are already ready to just get that LVO score. So they're using these bigger tournaments to try out some new stuff. They're trying out new lists, new builds, and seeing if they can really crack the new thing that nobody will be ready for at LVO.
Exactly right. This is the time of the year that people test the thing they want to, and that's been living rent free in their back of their head that might be good at an LVO, and they play them around this time of the year. Just sneak them on by when people aren't seeing, and see if they can get that data in their head excluded, and they can disprove that theory that this might be good, that might be good. We're also waiting to see the impact that Guard might have on the meta. Merry Slaaneshmass, which is the last one we're going to be covering this week, is using the new Guard Codex. Not using the new models, I do not believe, if I read their rules pack right. No new models, just what is released and what came out in the KDS stands box, but you can use the new decks. Okay. If you got it. We're breaking down one of those lists, which is a bit of a meme. Talking about the calm seas we've got now, we just heard, did you read the MetaWatch article this morning about how we're not going to have a data slate until Guard properly drops?
I did, yeah. It's actually interesting to see that too. If you saw some of the win rates, like, you ever see what the highest win rate army was right now?
Tell us.
Zinch. It was like 63% or something.
Well, which is the T-Suns
Flamers. I was assuming the T-Suns and Demons.
Yeah.
Like Flamers specifically.
I should have sent my meme in for Rich to put up. I made a meme. You know, you can fit so much in the salesman slaps the bonnet of the car.
Right.
You can fit so much X in it, and it's just literally the bonnet of the car is any Chaos Army, and he's like, if it's so many Flamers in this baby, it's any Chaos Army. It's pretty much how it feels at the moment out there.
I love it. But it's interesting to see that too. To be fair, too, Zinch is pretty ubiquitous, so I don't know if that's actually what it is, but
I mean, dude, Flamers are so good. People have found loopholes to get them in Emperor's Children. Like that's how good they are.
Oh yeah,
people
exactly.
They're like, oh, am I compromising my soul here? It's worth it. Get the Flamers in, you know.
But then it's just chaos, right? Because you can't call it Slazinch.
Slaznesh.
Zinesh. Zinesh. I like that. That's cool.
What's the first beautiful event for you guys is the Leicester GT. As I'm heard, it's called. It's not the Leicester, as it would be phonetically.
Oh, you did it. You actually did it right. Well done.
Well, it's like the name of the place is like 1,000 years old. So this is how they spelt it back then. It's Leicester GT. It is 246 plays, 7 rounds from lovely Leicester, England. Right, it's London adjacent, is what I hear.
London adjacent. Yeah.
Anyway, what are we going to see there, mate?
Of the 246 players, 7-round tournament, the quick and dirty stats here. The Imperium, Imperial Super Faction. There's 2 Imperium. So do you know, because you do the stats, you know what those are before I get forward?
One of them is Custodes, Grey Knights, and Custodes and Grey Knights. Okay. And one of them is Guard, Custodes, and Knights. I think it's, if I remember right, it's Guard, Hunters of Beasts, and a couple of Custody Dreads. I might be wrong on the second one. First one, 100%, was Custodies and Grey Knights.
Remember what we were saying about people trying wonky stuff this weekend? There it is. Dude, it is.
Dude, Custody Dreads with Dread Knights. I don't think it's a bad deal. I think it's kind of cheeky
interesting.
Good. Like I've got that in the back of my head for teams now. Like if I can just go into a low AP meta, that stuff is brutal.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. We also are going to see 14 Sisters of Battle, 9 Custodes, no AdMac. You had to call that out specifically, did you?
I had to call out the fact that we could get nigh on 250 players together, and not one of them was freaking playing AdMech. Like it was just
Hmm.
yeah. In fact, there's only 2 AdMech players out of the almost 400 players that are playing in the 3 events this weekend, which is a little sad.
But they got fixed in the last data slate, didn't they?
But they're fine. But they're fine, guys. You know,
They are
everything's fine over here. There's not.
They're
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine.
Yeah, for sure. 7 Astro Militarum, 6 Grey Knights, and 18 Imperial Knights. Oh, they're representing there. Space Marines, yeah. Space Marines are 6 Dark Angels, 8 Space Wolves, 10 Blood Angels, 2 Ultramarines, 1 Salamander, 2 Black Templar, 1 Raven Guard, 1 White Scar, 1 Imperial Fist, 2 Iron Hands, and 2 Death Watch. Yet still no AdMac.
You had to take a breath. You suck. You couldn't do it in one breath.
I didn't realize how long it was. I didn't take a deep enough breath. I haven't perfected my didgeridoo breathing through the nose and breathing out
continuous,
at the same time.
Yeah,
the continuous
pretty
breath.
impressive.
I tried to do it with playing the saxophone at one point, but then I had a deviated septum, so it was literally impossible. But anyway, Chaos. We have 1 Chaos Soup. Do you know what that is? Is that Zinch?
I think that was a 3-way of Zinch, Knights, and CSM. Because it actually had actual CSM. Yeah, I think it was like the Hunter of Beast equivalent for Renegade Knights. I might look that one up again while you're chit-chatting, because that one actually eludes me.
Right. Okay. All right. 12 T-Suns, 6 Death Guard, 12 Demons, and only 2 Renegade Knights. Imperial Knights crushing the numbers against Renegade Knights over here in London. London adjacent. Heretic Astartes is 3 Iron Warriors, 6 Creations of Bile, 4 Emperor's Children, 1 Word Bearer, 4 Black Legion, and 1 World Eater. Ooh, the World Eater. I like seeing that. I'm still surprised we don't see more Word Bearers, to be honest.
Me too.
Xenos 18 Necrons, 11 Orcs, 13 Tau, 6 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 17 Tyranids, 4 Gs to their cult. And then the Eldari, there's 10 Drukhari, 10 Harlequins, 12 Suriani, and 3 Ynnari, which means that the faction podium is Chaos Space Marines topping off with 19. Necrons and Imperial Knights tied for second with 18, and then Tyranids in third with 17. Chaos Space Marines are they're top of the charts, not just in representation, but their win rate's pretty good right now.
Yeah, they have. Turns out they are a well fleshed out, very deep faction.
Yeah,
and just the fact that we're seeing a pretty decent equilibrium between things like Creations of Bile, Emperor's Children, and even Black Legion chasing their tail. But usually it's Creations of Bile, Emperor's Children. One of them gets more than the other, depending on what the CSM players think is going to be better. Do they need to just trade more, or do they need to just have a more oppression and a little bit more shooting with stuff like the Sonic Blasters? What are they called? The Blast Masters. So it is kind of a much of a muchness. Although I will tell you that 2 of the best players in attendance have eschewed what they would usually take, because they would usually be taking CSM, and they're both taking different stuff. Anybody at home, listen to this right now. I've just jumped on BCP to go look up the Leicester Open, and it's the BCP's just launched a new website, by the way, brand new website, just took off.
Really? I have not been there today. The one day I don't go on.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't go on there every day.
It's freaking wild. I was on here literally this morning redoing a couple of the stats and some bits and pieces. And yeah, the fact that I've just jumped on it now and it's completely different is exciting as hell. Sorry, no. The 1 Chaos that I listed, Disciples of Be'lakor. True Disciples of Be'lakor. That's what it was. I've got it now. Yeah. Just a list rundown. Of course, Be'lakor, Contorted Epitome, and some Bloodletters, Beasts of Nurgle, and Flamers, and then Master Possession, Legionaries, Possessed, and Obliterators. Cheeky little list right there. But yeah, everyone jump on BCP right now. Tell all your mates, brand new BCP website. It is going to be the money. It's going to really enhance your experience, hopefully. All right, but let's go to those top players in attendance. Unless there's anything else you wanted to point out about this meta, I think Imperial Knights being in second place is pretty indicative of what I think players think the terrain's going to be. Like, they think they're going to be able to do some DACA.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty indicative of that for sure. It's Imperial Knights, because they're, I think, just a little bit better shooting than Renegade Knights. The guys that are going there know that that's the kind of terrain they have, so they know it's going to be oppressive too. And I think usually you'd see the opposite of that in Tau. Like, you'd see Tau kind of matching the numbers of the Imperial Knights. So it'll be interesting to see what the kind of matchups they go with. I think because Tau usually have a good matchup in the Knights. Usually.
Yeah, agreed.
At least the way that we've seen the build, but
All right, let's do this. Let's do some top players in attendance. First up, Mr. Vic Vijay. He is
Mhm.
currently ranked number 1 in the UK, and I think number 2 in the world. He maybe 3, definitely top 3 in the world. But he is playing that Zinch conglomerate, the Thousand Suns and Demons, Duplicity and Zinch. There's a battalion with Ahriman, an Exalted Sork, and Infernal Master. I could have written down with my eyes closed. It's always the same. 6x5 rubrics and 1 unit of 10 Scarab Occult Terminators. If I remember correctly, I think 4 out of 6 of the rubrics have a Gatling, have a Soul Reaper, and I know the Scarab O's also have guns on them as well, which is against the grain. Most of the T-Suns lists we're seeing are skewing all the special weapons to get more units involved. Then there's a Vanguard of Zinch Demons. This is a Fate Skimmer with 5/5 4 Flamers. So he's dropped literally 1 Flamers out of the norm, and he's 4 off the maximum. What do you make of it, mate?
I still like when we saw. I think it was it Manny's list where we saw the 663. I actually now think that is the perfect
663. I think 663 or 355. Really, but
yeah, I mean, really,
yeah.
that extra one is usually not necessary for what you're shooting him into. It's just, the 5/5 is still great. Don't get me wrong. Like I think that 3-man is so key and just either throwing away because you don't care much about it, or clearing the smallest shafts. You're not throwing a whole 5-man or even a 4-man into it that you will definitely not need. I just like that number.
Exactly correct, mate. I like the distribution like that. It's the same reason I like those in units of Repentia. Like I like 1 4 sister Repentia unit and then a couple of 7s and 8s. I like the 1 small one because you don't want to throw away 5 flamers to kill a nonsense screen. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That said. There is no wrong number of flamers to bring as long as it's 10 or more.
The correct number is as many as you can source and fit in the list. As long as it's under 18, go nuts. Because if you got 19, it's illegal and you should be sad. But next top player in attendance. This is going to be funny. It's Mr. David Gaylard, ranked 2nd in the UK. Same damn shit as Vic's list. Exactly point for point, not a freaking iota of difference. Just hilarious. Moving on.
You think those guys talk? Is that?
I think they might be mates. They might have some affiliation. I don't know. Might be so. They might sit.
Or is that just how figured out that list is?
They might sit by a fireside and discuss things at points.
Oh, fireside with some cheeky red wine, like a nice smooth Cabernet.
Yep.
And a podcast playing in the in the background.
So that's alluding to the fact, Fireside 40K. Go check that out. He's 2 of the best players in the world, just sitting out chatting about stuff and playing the same list. It looks like. All right, next up we have Mr. Mike Porter, who is ranked 3rd in the UK. Oh look, it's just light Sadith Harlequins. Just troops in clown cars. That's it. Ooh, 2 Skyweavers in addition. That's literally the only difference from the meta list. So we're not spending any time on that one either, because we're going on to the next one. I told you this was going to be funny. Next up is Nassim Fushain, and I'm pretty sure I got that correctly. You're welcome. He is ranked 4th in the UK. So far we've got all of the top 5. The top 4 in attendance. We don't have the top 5, unfortunately. He's a slacker, looks like. He's playing Tau Empire, Farsight Enclaves, double patrol. He has a Coalstar Commander, 10 Kroot and 2 Riptides, and then another patrol, like I said, with Farsight and Enforcer Commander, 10 Kroot, 2 Crisis Bodyguard, 5 Crisis Battlesuits with 3 Shield Drones, 4 Kroot Hounds, and 2 Sunshark Bombers. Now, what I love about this list is that this is the cheeky way of getting 2 of all the good things. Between Farsight and the 2 commanders, you essentially have another 5 Battlesuits. So it's got 2x5 Battlesuits in effect, 2 Riptides, and 2 Sunshark Bombers. I think it's a beautiful balance to this list. I wish it could get like 1 or 2 more units of Kroot Hounds in there. I just wish it could. I know there's probably not the points. You probably just can't find them. But I'm a big fan of what Nassim's doing at the moment. He's absolutely destroying people with this stuff. And I'm keen to see how he goes here. What do you make of it, mate?
This list is actually really optimized. I literally just played this list almost point for point today, except he had... I think he had, what was he missing? Oh, he didn't have Farsight, but he added more Crisis in the second squad and had more Shield Drones and some upgrades on the 5-man. But this list is oppressive, the amount of shooting it can put out, the amount of damage it can do. It struggles a little bit with some of the secondaries, but it doesn't matter because when you kill things and they can't get secondaries or primary, you don't need to score more than that because you're already going to do it.
They can't score when they're dead. And we've just
look who showed up!
I am
We got
intrepidly.
a new guy. You guys might have heard of him. Paul Murphy's just joined us now. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate being here, guys. It's been one of those days.
One of those days.
Fair.
He's not even
Fair.
wearing like a suit or anything. I was, oh man, this is weird.
Dude, I'm sitting here wearing my Off With Their Heads t-shirt, got my Roll My Kids hoodie.
Nice.
You know,
Nice.
What are you up to this weekend, mate? What?
Here
going
at
on?
PAX Unplugged, gonna be doing
Nice.
some board game or some Games Workshop demos and stuff like that. Gonna have a good time here at this convention, but be a bunch of nerds here in Philadelphia.
Ooh, Philly. Nice.
Love it.
Nice.
Love it.
And you can still join us too. This is how dedicated this man is.
Yes.
Wouldn't miss it. Look,
Wouldn't
man,
miss it.
Was giving us running updates. Just landed, getting the Uber, in the Uber. Just got into the foyer. In the foyer, get in my hotel room, up the stairs.
We should have had those updates. Like it is a chair instead. We were waiting for him so everybody could see.
My whole life is based around 9 p.m. Eastern time to the we get done with the show.
Yeah, my weekend starts as soon as this show finishes because it's like my Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
But anyway, jumping down into the last of the list we're going to be covering for Leicester. This is Nathan Whitbread. This is the 8th ranked player in the UK. He's playing Tyranids, Hive Fleet, Kraken, and Dustin. I want you to take this one. This is your wheelhouse because I think you're going to like it.
All right, well, let's see if I like it or not. See how right you are about it. We have a double patrol with a Hive Tyrant. Oh, that a boy, Adam.
Christmas spirit in action.
Just boy.
Bit of generosity.
Serving up this Jimmy.
You know what that is, guys? It's a Hive Tyrant. That's what it says on the data sheet. Now I love this list. This is great. It doesn't matter what else is in it. 3 Warriors, a Pyrovore, 3 Venomthropes, and a Screamer Killer. Nice. Haven't seen those in a while. A Winged Hive Tyrant in the second patrol, a Neurothrope, 10 Termagants, 2x3 Zoanthropes, 3 Tyrant Guard, Death Leaper, 2x5 Raveners, and then 3 Biovores. This is actually a pretty slick Kraken list. I like this a lot. The Screamer Killer, I like them a lot. I don't know about taking one of them because then it's kind of a target. I think you want to take at least 2 of them if you can, but
he's daring
just having one of them.
He's like,
already...
come on, give it to me.
It's true, yeah. He is daring him.
At the start of the show, Paul, we were discussing how this is the kind of type of year where people start doing some wacky stuff, like adding a little X factor into the list to see if it's worth taking to LVO and things like that. Could be why the Screamer Killer's here. He's like, in the back of my head, one Screamer Killer makes sense. Let's see if it makes sense. And then maybe we'll see this guy taking freaking 6 of them to LVO,
You saw the amount of Imperial Knights that are here? You know what Screamer Killer does to those little Imperial Knights?
Oh, yeah. Just get out of here.
Flip. Plays basketball with them.
What makes the Screamer Killer more efficient against those types of things?
He's got 10 attacks, which is a ridiculous amount for the monster. And he's actually, the strike that he has, plus rerolling wounds for 1 CP, means he's going to be doing like 10 hitting on 3s with rerolling all wounds, wounding on 3s on those things. And it's going to be -3 damage, I think is the base one. I think he's using that weapon. It's just, he picks up those little dice because they won't get an invuln save against that in close combat. So they'll just be 6-ups.
So
no, he's Kraken. I'm sorry. They will not be getting saved because he's -4.
-4. The thing that I thought was things like Termistars for CSM. For the rerolls to wound it means you don't care about the trans hit means like 10 attacks. Just let's spike some hits on the 10 attacks and bang, rerolls to wound. You neg 1 to wound, don't care. Rerolls. Neg 4, 3 damage. Get out of here. I denied you feel no pain. Just pick him up, pick him up. I actually quite like that. If that is what that is there for, just the one to try and keep him honest, is pretty slick, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I see you guys in the chat. No, I'm not. Stat check. Nope. Nicky D. Yeah. I'm actually happy with that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. But this is actually a really slick list. I like this a lot. He's not going too heavy in the Warriors. Has 2 groups of 5 Raveners, not just the one. So he's got two threats for that. 2x3 Zoanthropes, I think, is actually the number we see more than anything now. Just the mortal wound output they have is so consistent and so good. But there's annoying to remove too. Plus more synapse because why not? The Screamer Killer is that tech piece that like you mentioned that he's kind of testing out to see maybe this is worth it. This is the time to do it. And this meta with all these Imperial Knights and stuff, if it doesn't work here, it will not work elsewhere.
When was it gonna? Exactly right. Exactly.
What's up with those 3 Warriors though? I mean, just kind of hanging out. Is that a vestige from a previous maybe Hive Fleet?
Or is it just to provide? You mean to provide the synaptic link? Are they worth it?
They're cheap. And I think they're going to be like the backfield holders, if nothing else.
Well, see, that's perfectly right, because the only thing I see in this list, I want to see in this list that's not there, is gargoyles. I'd love for there to be a cheeky unit of gargoyles in here.
Yep, that's true.
I love I love the Gargs versus Votan in Kraken, because you can just be like, tap, go tap.
Depending on what the warriors are equipped with, the gargoyles might be more expensive, or they might be cheaper.
Oh, that's
I don't know
true.
what
That's
you're equipped
true.
with.
Yeah.
I love it. We have a call in the chat for the current.
Concurrent.
Yeah.
What?
Look!
What is that?
It's a full-on rebellion in the chat right now, Dustin.
What is going
It's
on?
like, yeah.
I just want everyone to know that I tried to give Dustin a nice thing.
He really
and
did.
chat's
Adam was
just
being
like,
nice, and now the
no.
chat
The
is just
chat says
going off. You guys. I'm really looking forward to LVO with all the memes that will go along with it.
Did y'all mention it at the first part of the show that we do this live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and that we have an amazing group of chat folks?
No,
Well, let me tell you,
it's
we
your
do this
job,
every
Paul.
night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time live. We have an amazing community in chat that just basically, makes life difficult for Dustin. So we appreciate that around here. No, don't do that.
That's for sure.
Don't do that. So what's the pick for winning this thing?
Oh, look, if the two best players in the game
Yeah.
are both playing Zinch, so T-Suns with Flamers, and the Meta Watch just came out saying that's the best list in the game at the moment, let's not pick them.
Okay.
Let's do something else.
Is it the best list in the game? Are you conceding to that Thousand Suns with Flamers are the best?
I'm not going
to
say it's the best list in the game, but right now it is one of the, if not the highest win rate in the game, played by two of the top players in that country.
Okay, can I put a little spice in this?
If you say Blood Angels, no.
No. I'm going to say is if it's the best list in the game, why hasn't it won anything?
It's true. It's true.
So
it hasn't taken a big event yet.
Is it a really good list? And it is a really good list, and it's certainly the best Thousand Suns list we've seen since that book hit. But is it the best list in the game, or is it just good?
That's the interesting thing that you say about that, because bringing it up that's not winning anything, but it has this high win rate means that most people are going like 4-1 with it, maybe.
Yep.
So they're winning a lot of events, but there's always this bad matchup that they'll always run into. So does that mean that's still the top list, or is it just another gatekeeper?
Yeah, I mean, look, if we're awarding best list in the game to 4-1s, I mean, sure, let's do it. But we're not.
the
best 4-1.
So the guy ranked third right now, Mike Porter, playing the intractable, will not move off light Sadith clown card list. That would be my pick to win this. I think that's a list that actually has relatively good and decent matchups into Flamers, because Flamers come down, cool, you kill the boat, 5 troop, kill Flamers. I mean, as long as they can dodge Overwatch, you're golden. 5 troop will annihilate 5 Flamers. But yeah, that's a really interesting matchup, and I like the way Mike Porter is going about his business at the moment. I think he won the last LGT Super Major, UKTC Super Major as well, with pretty much exactly the same list. So that's my pick. I think if anybody's going to beat him, it's going to be Mike Porter, because he's been playing that freaking list forever, and those boys are just jumping on it on the last minute.
I think it'll be Nassim in that Tau list.
That's not a bad choice either.
I think that list is actually well positioned to take on those top meta armies it's going to run into. I don't think it has a bad matchup. There's ones that might be harder than others, but I don't think it has a bad matchup per se.
That's fair.
Oh, well, I was talking mad trash for someone who missed the whole first part of the show. So,
who's going to win it though, Paul? Who do you think?
Let's go with Tau.
All right,
beauty. So I got 1 for Harlequins, 2 for Tau. Zinch, never heard of you. Get out of here.
Never heard of you. 4-1
to 0. Yeah, actually, it's a great list. Like, it really is. But I just want to point out the fact that win rates are only one piece of it. I mean, which we know is just kind of one piece of it. And they certainly have the power, and maybe that's just it. Maybe there's some slight tweaks that we'll be able to notice over the next few weeks that generals are including in those lists that give them the edge. Because if they are going, if a single list is consistently going 4-1, it is only one dial away from 5-0, 6-0, 10-0, whatever. So it's certainly one to watch. If you take nothing else, you have to have an answer for it, because you don't want to meet him. You could be the guy that beats him in round 5, but you're probably the guy that loses to him in round 4. So have an answer.
Yep, 100%. I mean, funnily enough, I played against a hell of a lot of Flamers recently, and Space Marine infiltrators are hilarious into them. I mean, they're such a joke for the points, stats wise, but then you're like, wow, this tool is invaluable in the meta at the moment. If you have
No,
an equivalent,
it's
if you have
literally
an
like you have.
equivalent to the 12-inch pushback from
Yeah,
Deep Strike, just slap it down. As soon as the flamers have to deploy on the table, you get a real decent game into them
yeah.
again.
The Clamavis was kind of like edging on the edge of my list, but once Flavors dropped in, no, he's just in there. Every list now. Stay 12 inches away. Get out of here.
All right, Paul? You happy to take it up?
Yeah.
Let's
Next
go.
event we're jumping to is the GTD Agara from Barcelona, Spain. My sources say that's in Europe.
Yeah.
That's
Did you have to?
It's a 58
Spain is in
player
Europe,
5-round event. What are we going to see there?
The Imperial Super Faction, we're going to see 7 Sisters of Battle, 4 Custodes, and 3 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 2 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 2 Blood Angels, 1 Salamander, and 1 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 2 Chaos Space Marines, 1 T-Sun, 2 Death Guard, 5 Demons, and 3 Renegade Knights. Xenos, there's 6 Necrons, 2 Orcs, and 3 Tau. Hive Mind, there's 6 Tyranids.
Yeah, boy.
Eldari, there's 3 Drukhari, 3
We just had a
Harlequins,
long
and 1
pause
Sirianni.
for the hive mind
It
and
was.
the
It
G-Seal
was
cults that aren't there.
Single tier.
For the Gene Steel Cult player, that
Single
should have
tier.
been there.
And I know Spanish players that played GSC, man. Why aren't you guys
Mm-hmm.
there? Well, that means the faction podium, though, is Sisters topping it off with 7. Then Tyranids and Necrons tied in second with 6, and Demons in third with 5. Sisters topping it off this event there.
First time in a long time we've seen a
Yeah.
number 1. It's not unusual for them to, like most weeks, get a third or second place here or there, but first place is actually pretty rare in the last kind of 6 months.
That's a huge jump. Do you think there's anything to do with the possibly inclusion of the Paragon warsuits and that kind of stuff? I mean, like, what's catapulting them?
Funnily, you mentioned that. Paragon Warsuits made an appearance in most of the lists, and if it wasn't Paragons, it was Penitent Engines I think Mortifiers made an appearance in most of the lists, and there was one or two that were just really conventional. In fact, I pulled out all the Sisters list, and I got the one that was most interesting. It had 2 units of Paragon Warsuits in it. We might as well unpack it now, because it's topical. So let's hit that transition.
All right.
I'm sorry talking about it.
Nailed it.
Hilarious. The naming of this gentleman is Sir Charles, and I just love the idea of the current king of the British Empire just like getting a big old trench coat on. Could have gone to Leicester, and he's like, nah, people will know me there. Just rocks up in Barcelona, ready to play some Sisters of Battle. He's got a battalion, Bloody Rose, of course. He's got a Canoness, Morven Vile, 2x5 Sisters, 10 Novitiates, a Dogmata, 2x3 Paragon Warsuits, 4, 5, 6 Repentia, 3x7 Zephyrim, 2x5 Retributors, and a Rhino. Now, what I found interesting about this is that I don't know where this guy has gotten the points for his Paragons, because that looks the same. You take the Paragons out, and I could almost be like, oh yeah,
that's the way
2,000
Sisters
points.
work, my man.
It's
like
like
Adeptus Sororitas got the points everywhere.
He
just
took
moved some
out a couple
beans.
Repentia and a couple Zephyrim. That was basically
Yeah, legit. And it's
6
got
warsuits.
freaking-
That's where it came from.
I mean, I'm incredulous. I'm like, where does he pull all the points from to get freaking 6 warsuits from? Because
Oh,
it
there's
looks
no
yeah.
Celestine. There's no Celestine.
There's no, of course, there's no Celestine. But I didn't think Celestine was a must take in all the lists. I thought she was just good to have. And
Well, I mean, if Celestine is the same points as 6 Paragon warsuits, I'm beginning to question her validity.
fair.
Oh, I'd like to point out that you can get Morven Vile and like 6 Paragon warsuits in the Christmas bundles that are coming out pretty soon.
Bang, 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 bang.
On the Frontline Gaming Network, you can check them out. I'm sure they'll have access to that stuff.
That's the gold right there, guys. If you just
There it is.
just here,
This is why
you're just
Paul
here
is
for that
here.
bit. Whew, that was hot. But yeah, this is a really cool list. And why were you extrapolating that Paragons might be coming back into the meta pool? Like, what are you seeing from them that makes you think they're the bees?
Well, I mean, what I tell you is that John Lennon has been a list innovator on the circuit for a long time. He's been knocking on the door a lot of tournaments, won some tournaments. We recently saw coming in second in the grand finale for the U.S. Open Series against Jack Harpster's Orcs. Of all things, Orcs. But I mean, you can look at it that way of like what was taken for that event and what would do really well in that event. But what we saw was some innovation from a list innovator. I'm talking about John Lennon with his Paragon warsuits in these Adeptus Sororitas, who we know has been a long time Sister of Battle Adeptus Sororitas player. And so to see a player like that innovate in a way that brings them to the forefront, essentially the Paragon warsuits back on the table, I think it's got a lot of generals thinking maybe they will do pretty well in the meta right now.
Exactly right. And Alex is in the chat's pointing out Charles III would be His Majesty, not a Sir. Of course, he's never going to call himself Majesty on the
Not when he's going incognito.
BCP.
He's going
Right.
incognito. Yeah,
He's like
he's wearing a helmet, hiding his face and everything.
He's like Thor in Ragnarok. He's like, they won't recognize me if I do this. But anyway, the reason I like Paragons for Sisters at the moment is that they ice up one of the harder matchups I think they've got at the moment, which is Imperial Knights, all the -1 damage, getting winded on 5s. Repentia just do not cut it. And then it's just literally having to rely on all your Retributors to do every piece of heavy lifting in your army. When you've only got tuners of 5, essentially the first time that big knight or a couple of the Helverins can draw line of sight, they get picked up. Things like Paragons, you can start off the table, come on, Killer Knight, Charger Knight, Killer Knight. It's something that you can get a 2-for-1 from a unit of Paragons into the Knight matchup and start tilting it your way. So also we know there's a lot of Knights here. And in addition, did I tell you about the fact that people are tooling up against Terminator bricks? Oh, cool!
No.
You can't reroll.
There you go.
Can't reroll to hit with your Paragon Warsuits. Doesn't matter. Force to hit, explode. Might as well be rerolling to hit. It is actually not a bad little tech choice.
As long as you do one explodes on the 4, is that just an innate thing with the Paragons?
It's the stratagem for the Paragon Warsuits, isn't it?
Oh, the stratagem. Okay, yeah, got it.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, man. Just hit and you get another one. Sick.
Yeah.
That's good.
I do love, by the way, when generals go deep into the codex. As the editions start to mature, a list starts to evolve, things start to enter the ecosystem. You've got like, okay, well, what else is in my book that I can use?
Yeah, exactly. I love this. That's why the deep codexes, you like to see all the new stuff coming. Not necessarily new, but different tech that people come out with. I like it.
And there's also a Rhino here to hide the Retributors.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Next up, though, we have Makaros. Sorry, right? That's all he's got. There's so many people with just one word names.
I love it.
Apparently. He's playing Dark Angels, and I wanted to point out.
Oh, that's why he's here. Okay.
Yeah, so I say, and he's playing Dark Angels.
No. So this list is on here because I'm gonna have a little bit of a pontificate upon.
Pontificate. Oh, really?
This list, yeah. As we talk about a list that just stays still, just never evolves. This list has essentially gone the duration of the edition now. So it's a Vanguard detachment. It is, of course, a Deathwing Vanguard. It's got Ezekiel, Interrogator Chaplain, a Blade Guard Ancient, and a Ravewing Apothecary. There is your, 650 points of characters to support your 40 Terminators, 10 of which are Deathwing Knights, 20 of which are just regular Deathwing Terminators, and 10 of which are Relic Terminators. This list has gone a long while between meals, as in meals being top finishes. And I want to talk about this because this is a list that gets taken. This is still the predominant list I see every week from Dark Angels. And I think people need to do what Paul suggests and start innovating because this list hasn't won a damn thing in 18 months, could be 2 years, because this was one of the first powerful archetypes in the edition, because this was the second.
Because it exists, like it endures. You can be on things and you create a list of problems for your opponents that not every opponent can solve.
Exactly. It creates safety. It's reliable, and in doing so becomes a crutch. And I'm here to tell all the Dark Angels players, play anything else, guys. If hopefully you're playing other things in your test games. And you're just bringing.
Do you mean other Dark Angel builds, or do you mean some other?
What about 50 TAC Marines with like plasma?
Why not? Why not at this stage? It's not going to do any worse.
You can also get a Star Collecting box from Frontline.
That's true. It's true. But my thing is, this list isn't putting up any results. And sure, if you're playing it for a teams event, you're practicing for that, go nuts. This is a great teams list. It's always going to provide you a backbone and a reliable defender. Taking it to singles, I've just been like, this is like. It's so boring. Secondly, everyone knows how to play into it. It's the same as a Sisters list. It's been a while since we saw Sisters win because everyone's got 50 reps into the best list. The fact that this one still exists, and I'm here to tell you, this isn't a bad list. This is not a bad list. This is a middle of the pack, just fine list.
So you were experimenting with those Primaris land speeders and stuff. Do you think that's
well? So I did that because I got bored of this. Because I was playing this, and I got so bored of this, I was just like, well, what's the fast, exciting stuff? I'll play that, and just, I don't care if it's not good, at least it'll be exciting, because I'm playing a movement phase, yay! And so I did. I went about, making and crafting a Ravenwing list, and it turns out it's actually been all right. As soon as I got like I said, 40, 50 reps under my belt with it, the archetype has become quite strong for me. So yeah, Mix it up, guys. If you're a
Oh,
Dark
dude,
Angels player out there.
Ravenwing lists, like pure Ravenwing lists, like Land Speeders and some of those new Land Speeders and the Dark Talons, they're scary lists. They
But
are scary.
I'm not here to say this gentleman's doing it wrong, though.
Oh, of course not.
If this is how you enjoy the game, shut up, Adam. You don't know crap.
Well, and also like
Well,
you
play how you
take
like it.
choices to exist and deal with the meta in your
Yeah.
environment. So like that's one thing we can never like second guess some of the choices of the pilots because they know exactly what they're going to or probably have a better idea than what we do of what they're going to be facing. But I think your point is incredibly strong. Is that this list is somewhat like Dark Angels .net list or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like how do you if you're not getting the results that you prefer, what can you do? And then looking deeper like you have, and maybe you didn't find the exact answer, but you have you're on the right track of innovation and dealing with it.
Right. And that said too, like this list, it could actually be played differently now because the two main things that it was known for were To the Last and Stubborn Defiance, both of which got changed. One of them is gone, and the other one is still a thing, but not nearly as reliable as it used to be. So maybe it's being played differently.
I love Nurgle with basically the Raven Wing untapped potential. Get in there and do something with it, and calling some notice to that. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Super 7.77.
Wow,
Nurgle Matt.
If you didn't know, guys, Nurgle Matt has just informed you that you can in fact super chat into this show. And if you're not, why aren't you? What's going on? Anyway,
look, we're just happy you're here.
Last list from Barcelona. Kalitros.
I could feel your brain trying.
I'm glad
so
it's
hard.
you this time. I'm really glad it's you this time.
It's Kalitros Overlana.
Kalitros.
I'll just Aussie that up. He's playing Twilight Sated Harlequins. Because I half-assed Mr. Porter's list previously, I felt like I had to bring on. And this has got a little bit of spice. I like this Harlequins list. This is pushing a bit of the envelope. It's got a Shadowseer, Troop Master, 6 units of 5 troop, and they've got 5 Star Weavers for 5 out of the 6 of those to go in. And then they've got 3 fatty units of Sky Weavers, 5/5/4, all with Shuriken cannons and Zephyr Glaives. And I think this is a direct reaction to wanting to beat Twilight to go away from Light, but needing to still have speed to close distance on Tau, Votan, and now Guard as well in the future. So I think this isn't a bad choice to retain the speed, a lot of speed you lost when you switch to Twilight, but also still have some of the goodness that Twilight brings.
Yeah, like Twilight's been picking up a lot of steam. Like, and who knew that like 6 entries? How do you slice and dice 6 codex entries to make just sweet magic? Like it's strong.
How many bikes and troops? It's really what it comes down to. And how do you equip them too? Do you have the Star Bolas? Do you have the actual close combat weapons? Now I'm assuming too, if he's Twilight, he has the close combat.
Yeah, Zephyr Glaives and Shuriken cannons on all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is the right choice until we see the Guard archetype. If Guard drops and it's all mechanized, at least one of those units should be Haywire. Or can you actually mix and match in the units? Because it would be cool to go have a 5 and go
get the keywords.
Two Haywire, 3 Shurikens. That would be cool. That would give you some duality.
Oh, and sorry, I was talking about the wrong unit. You can mix other things in other units.
Yeah. Oh, do you mean the troop units to give the keywords? Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, but I'm actually a fan of this list for what it is for Twilight. You have the waves. Like first wave, Skyweavers can hit most things on the board if they're anywhere near their deployment line turn 1, and then next turn just getting Starweavered to beats. So yeah, I like this list.
Yeah, I like. Oh, another super chat, Andrew Dussault. I'm sorry, I did it, but you're not super chatting because I'm unemployed. FYI. Okay,
I'm contagious.
It's all good too. Look, just hang out with us. I'm telling you,
just hang out with us.
It's time to hang out. We're talking about meta stuff and tournaments, and it's amazing. And we're happy y'all are here.
Much.
And if you're listening after the fact, we're happy you're listening to us after the fact as well.
What's winning this one, boys?
That is a great question.
I would love to see Sisters take an event, so I'm going to go Sisters. There's 7 of them there, surely, right? If not now, when?
Yeah, that's true. They do have the numbers.
So, I'm going Renegade Knights. Renegade Knights also have not brought it down recently, but I think that the numbers and the ratios here have Renegade Knights positioned to go all the way.
We just had in the super chat actually.
Another one. Is it who's going to win?
Green Blood Crusade, 5 Canadian dollar dues. Not super chatting till Adam accepts the title, not Adam and Dicky the Blood Priest.
I mean,
You're
we
all
can
not
dub
Adam.
we can dub titles all over the place. What do you need?
Sure,
Whatever
we
you
can
can for
do that.
his.
I'm pretty sure he's just making it so that you guys are referred to as not Adams, and I am in fact Adam.
Oh, there you go.
Is what it is?
Yeah. Please let
And
me know if I got that
Vipers.
right, Green Blood Crusade. But yeah, what's winning, boys? We've got Renegade Knights, we've got Sisters, Dustin.
I'm actually going to say Necrons into this this field here.
Safe bet. It's always a safe bet, man, isn't it?
I guess
Nice.
you can. It's the comfortable choice.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. So, Adam, did you call it? You did, right?
I called it for the Sisters.
Yep. There we go. Let's take a quick break. We'll get some station identification here. Check out the cool stuff from FLG. We'll be right back in just a minute or two.
We got to get our
At
name.
Frontline Gaming, we make the best tabletop gaming mats in the universe. Our mats are durable, rollable, foldable, wipeable, and storable. Oh, and they look damn great too. Join the thousands of tournament regulars and garage gamers who use our mats to bring their gaming surfaces to life. To ensure quality, Frontline Gaming mats are custom made one at a time, printed with high quality ink. Our immersive designs stay crisp and are available in a wide range of styles and sizes. So whether you're playing a war game or a skirmish game, whether you're fighting over an alien tundra, fantastical forest, or real-world setting, there's a great-looking battlefield for you. Our gaming mats are printed on extremely durable neoprene backing, so they won't slide around the table, and they're thick enough to stay flat, protecting what's underneath and allowing for slight uneven surfaces. We know from experience that an easily portable gaming surface is just better. Every mat comes with a sturdy nylon zip-up bag for storage and transportation. Whether your next battle is in your home or at the local game store, you'll be able to unroll your FLG mat and get gaming right away. Our products are all made and tested by passionate gamers at Frontline Gaming HQ right here in the USA. It's time to take your battlefield to a new level. Frontline Gaming, champions of tabletop.
We are back, everybody, and Merry Slaaneshmass from the Ocean Shores, Washington, USA. That is on the West Coast. I was just up there in that area earlier this year. It was beautiful. Loved being there. That's the next event we're going to be talking about. It is a 100-player 6-round event, and they are going to be using the new Astra Militarum, which we can talk about that if we want to for a few minutes, whatever. But hey, look, you know your player base, TOs. Enter at your own risk. You know, like, what's up? So
Yep. And look, there's 5 of them. There's 5 of them out of 100 that are coming. I looked at pretty much all their lists, and one of the top ranked guys was taking guard. It is a bit of a memey list, but it represents, I think, some interesting things coming out of that book, some interesting perspectives. But yeah, sorry, Dustin, take it away.
There is a slight caveat, though, is that what they're using is only what is available in that box set and then the new codex. So you can't like proxy models that aren't like the Dorns or the Lord Solar or whatever. That's the information we've got from the event, or at least what we can glean from the list.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So Dustin, what are we seeing there?
Over in Washington, which I've been told is in the U.S. somewhere, I think. Imperial Super Faction, there's 6 Sisters of Battle, 7
We got
Custodians,
several
5
Washingtons.
New Astra Military.
Tons of Washingtons over there.
Tons of Washingtons. And 3 Imperial Knights. In the Space Marines, there's 4 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 2 Blood Angels, 1 Ultramarine, 2 Salamanders, and 1 Imperial Fist. Salamanders are showing up a lot more, I've seen them every week. At least in like almost every tournament, too. This is crazy. Chaos, there's 9 Chaos Space Marines, 4 T-Suns, 5 Death Guard, 9 Demons, 9 Renegade Knights. Xenos, there's 5 Necrons, 0 Orcs. That's a little sad to see. 9 Tau, especially when you see that. And then 1 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 1 Forces of the Hive Mind. Okay, cool. And then 6 Tyranids and a Gene Stealer cult. And then Aldara, there's 1 Drukhari, 3 Harlequins, 1 Asuriani, and 1 Inari. I mean, the faction podium is massively tied at first with CSM, Demons, Renegade Knights, and Tau at 9. Chaos just dominating the faction podium at number 1. Custodes in second with 7, and then Tyranids and Sisters in third with 6. Wow.
Yeah, 1%
That's a crazy
Votan.
spread.
1% Votan.
This is a very interesting spread. I think that this might be the first time that I can remember us having 4 factions in first place. It's almost like they all agreed. No one's allowed. Like as soon as we have 9 of any players signed up, it's a runoff from that point. You cannot
have more than 10% representation of your faction in this event. That's just ridiculous. You can't
exactly have that. 9 players per faction. It's in the rules pack.
Yeah.
You get a 10 BP penalty until you change your faction if you're number 10. But yeah, this is a really spicy one. Once again, see Sisters coming in third. That's usually where we expect Sisters. We expect Sisters to be somewhere between the third and fifth faction representation, which is why it was unique that they were in first place.
Yeah, they've been like. I know we only do the top 3 normally, but if we went to top 5, Sisters, we mentioned Sortos probably in every episode.
Mhm.
How do you guys feel about a guard into this meta? I mean, right now, if this was the old book, guard would be laughing because like 27 out of the 100 players are freaking chaos, and he's like, "Ha! I took the banner, going
the banner.
first." yeah. But as it sits, are they still going to have that result?
They actually have some interesting tools to fight them now, like a 12-inch to deep strike the eye bubble order will be very hard for those demons to deal with. So the tools that they have now, I actually think they're in a better position in this current meta. There's a lot of stuff in there. The tanks that they have, some of the weapon profiles they have are going to be really good into the knights. The CSM, the CSM is actually what I'd be most worried about for them, to be honest.
Me too.
So I don't know.
Me too. Closing the
what do you mean? Which version of CSM are you talking about? Like possess bombs type stuff, or
so? Yeah, when I think of CSM, I think mainly melee focused. Sometimes with
like Creations of Bile, or is that we're talking
about?
Yeah,
Creations of Bile, Word Bearers, even Black Legion in some cases with like a minimal shooting, but closing the gaps and actually getting in on these guys, tying stuff up. I think that will cause a lot of problems for the guard. But I could be completely wrong. They might actually have the exact tools they need with Rough Riders now. Ogre, I don't know, whatever. I don't even know what they're taking. What is the meta listed here?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the interesting things, so I'm keying up to play guard. In fact, I'm playing guard on stream in a couple of hours for my very first game with the new
Try not
guard
to tank the whole faction for everybody.
Dude. I hate playing a faction for the first time and it being on stream. Oof, comes with some chest hair, I can tell you.
Yeah, be kind to him if you're watching that game, guys. Don't give him a hard time.
Dustin,
That's my job.
You're absolutely right, because the guns that CSM bring do not threaten the big tanks, but they've got a plethora of gun to clear guardsmen, and so they can just play a pretty stable game where they just like, well, I kill any freaking guardsman that comes anywhere near any of my stuff and just try and win the primary, which is very much an option. Oh, your tanks want to push around a corner to shoot and maybe try and pick up a unit or two, countercharge, kill it. So there is some really decent tools there available for CSM into guard, and of course a bunch of minuses one to hit and things like, but funnily enough, actually things like illusory supplication only being hit on 4s and no rerolls. We hit on 4s anyway, baby. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Stuff like that's not as big a deal, but things like the feel no pain and good armor saves is a pretty big deal.
We had a question in chat, is that can the AdMech play well in the guard? And I think a lot better when the guard don't have the new models and the orders they can put on super heavy tanks. Because the characters that can put orders on super heavy tanks don't exist yet. Although you can back your way into a warlord traits, and then that picks up a lot of guard models. I think it's gonna be a tough road.
Well, I think AdMech do have a lot of decent tools into guard, but guard can build an army that will just absolutely, I think, smash the current AdMech builds. The big blocks of 20 guys, a couple of chickens here, there, and everywhere. You'll use the chickens once, and then like one Lehman Russ will annihilate, two chickens, 2.5 chickens, and then you're in big trouble. The getting use out of the 20-man bricks for AdMech would be an interesting thing to see if they could do, because I don't see
against the Stormlord. That's
true. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, you could just tech the guard army into killing those 20-man bricks. Take a couple of wyverns would be 2 wyverns would almost crack that matchup. 24 shots, from a wyvern. Give it bombardiers, make it hit on 3s. You'd really do some pain.
Well, we haven't even talked about what we're going to see at this tournament yet. So I guess we have talked about so we don't even know exactly how well they're positioned compared to what we're going to see with some of the lists and some of the top players.
Well, let's jump in. Perfect segue. Steve Trimble is the top-ranked guy in the US Western region of the ITC. He's playing Death Guard. He's playing the Ferryman, and I love this list. It is a battalion, 2 malignant plaguecasters, 6 units of 10 plague marines with all the trimmings, gravy, stuffing. It's all there. Biologist, Putrefier, Tallyman, and Blightspawn, so the full complement of elite characters to give them all the buffings. A Chaos Spawn, and then a Batten to stick it all together. Be a beat stick.
I love the Chaos Spawn. I'm less sold on a Batten.
Oh, yeah, I'm not 100% sold on him, but like I said, this is a good time that people like to test things out. I've been waiting to see outside the core Heartland European WTC nations. I've been waiting to see the 10-man archetype, the big brick Plague Marine archetype really start to take off. This is the first time I've seen a top player really take it to a big event. The 60 Plague Marines. I played against this archetype at WTC with my Grey Knights, and it was terrifying. He went first, put 20 Plague Marines and the Blight Spawn onto the middle objective, and then I was like, all right, so theoretically, if I go in there and like use half my army, which is what it's going to take to fight through the fights last, or pseudo fights last, the -1 damage and all the other junk to kill these 20 guys, I just lose half of my army to the next 20 guys. And this guy, Mr. Trimble, has that again. He's got 3 waves of 20 guys. This is really
I legitimately love all the Plague Marines. Like that's what's up. Like if you're going in with Death Guard, like take all the Plague Marines you can.
This is a grindy army. Actually wants to play into other Chaos Space Marines as well. Actually would love to grind into other Chaos Space Marines, especially things like Possessed, going in and doing 1 damage per Possessed, because it's it's -1 damage, and then they still get a 5-up armor save. Or sorry, 4-up armor save. Possessed, never heard of you. Get out of here. To my Great Cleavers are just going to absolutely annihilate them on the return sweeps. So I like this into some of the grindy melee matchups. Things like Repentia hate this as well. Like as soon as you got anything that goes from 2 to 1 damage, Plague Marines just laugh at you. This doesn't want to go against Guard, Votan, stuff like that, because it just doesn't have any guns.
Yeah, it's counting on stalling you out in close combat and winning the battle of attrition, but they're just like, well, you need 2.5 turns to get to me, and you may not have 2.5 turns.
Yeah, exactly. Noble Matthew, I'm running 60 Plague Marines this weekend and 8 Plague Marines the weekend after. What a Chad.
Yes. Yes, I love it. Throw a Chaos Spawn in there for me and a Blow Drone. Like, just find points for 1 Blow Drone and 1 Chaos Spawn. And
just for good old TPM.
Let me know how it goes.
All right, next up we have Nicholas Olsen-Johnson. He's ranked 5th in the US West. He's playing Leagues of Votan. He's playing the Glom, that being the Ymir conglomerate. He's got a battalion, Brokir Forgemaster, a Grimnir, and High Carl. Then he has 3x10 Warriors, 3x5 Zerkers, 2x3 Pioneers, and 2 Hekchonk Land Fortresses. These ones have Conversion Beamers as the main gun, with Ion Beamers for the rest. What do you make of that, boys?
I mean, it's good. I don't think you can make a bad Votan list right now, because all their models have play, and I think 2 Land Fortresses, that's the number. 100%, that's the number you take. You don't take 3. That's 3's too many, 1's too few.
Can you put all the Berserkers in the Land Fortress? Is it
not all?
Yep.
Nah.
Well, yeah, because
are they 10s, or I thought they were 5s?
No, it's the other things that are 5. The Sagittars.
The Sagittars. Oh, okay.
Sagittars are 5s. Yeah.
Sagittars are 5s. Yeah, but the Berserkers can go on the Land Fortresses for sure.
That's sick. That's really good.
Okay.
I like this army a lot. I love seeing the small units of Zerkers. I think it's really powerful. I'm actually, to your point, Dustin, I think 3's too many. You don't have enough army. 2's probably perfect, and I don't actually mind 1, as long as, because the use of that, if you only have 1, use it as the fire magnet. You want people to try and do it, and then use all the rest of your points to just go bikes and Zerkers, and that becomes your archetype. But yeah, as soon as you go less than 2 Hecatons, you got to look for your heavy lifting elsewhere. Like, you have to have bikes, you have to have like Hearthguard, stuff like that. This is a really good list. For those who don't know, the Heavy Conversion Beamer, I think it's not getting enough respect. I think this might be it's the best choice, the best all-rounder choice.
I think it is.
Well, now it can hit your own troops, so what's not to like?
No, that's not this one.
Oh, sorry.
But hey, I'm going to enjoy messing with people, like running my stuff around into the middle of their troop unit that was out to the side and being like, do you wanna?
Well, so why are you piling in that way? It makes no sense. Like, okay, well, I mean, technically,
cool. We'll figure it out eventually. It's going to be funny. But yeah, this thing is it's only 30 inches, but with Ymir it goes to 34. It's 2 shots, strength 8 -3, 4 damage. Sorry, this is beam. Sorry, this is the beam weapon. My apologies.
I'm always right.
You are correct. You are correct, mate. For some reason, I thought this wasn't. I was looking at the cyclic ion cannon. I thought that was the beam for some reason. But yeah, I'm a noob.
You literally said conversion beam and then said it wasn't the beam weapon.
I was like, I guess it's not the beam. I guess it's not.
Yep.
You got a lot of beams in this book.
If they're more than 15 inches, If they're more than 15 inches away, you get another hit. So it's got 2 shots that can be hitting on 3s. I think they can hit on. I can't remember if they can hit on 2s, but I think they can hit on 3s re-rolling.
Yeah, if the
Every
Forge
time.
Master, Forge Master can give one of them or 2 of them if they're close enough. I think plus 1 to hit.
Yeah, and then they're both hitting on 2s and get 4 hits. It's strength 8 minus 3, 4 damage. Actually, really, really nice. So yeah, this is my favorite loadout.
And mortals, they can do mortals.
And mortals, it's still Ymir. It's still
double mortals because they're Ymir.
They're glumming up, doing all the mortals.
We did get a very serious question in the chat here: is why isn't Adam wearing sleeveless shirts anymore? And look, we're all breaking character. So Dustin's not wearing like a Mass Effect shirt,
Mass Effect or GI Joe.
Yeah, GI Joe. That's right. I'm not wearing a collar.
Hey, I'm wearing Zelda though.
Zelda, actually, yeah, Zelda counts.
Wait, you got Zelda? What have you got, Paul?
Oh, this is Off With Their Heads. It's a band, one of the best bands on.
Nice. I have Voltron.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Representing our.
And you don't know what beam weapons are? What the hell?
This is the episode we all break character.
Nothing but walk-arounds for the rest of the year, Dustin.
Virus are fine.
No, it's. There we go.
And winces and walk-arounds.
See, even winces is okay because at least it's not the standard data sheet.
Okay. All right.
Still
Hank Adams. Hank Adams is ranked 8th in the US West. He's playing guard. He is playing armored superiority, expert sharpshooters. That means all his tanks count as a number of models on objectives. So I think the Russ's count is 3. I think Sentinels count as 2 or 3, and Russ's count is 5. I'll double check that for you in a sec. But then it's got expert marksmen, which means they all get 1 reroll to hit, just a free reroll, like Eldar do with expert crafters. Then he's got a bit of a meme. He's got a spearhead with 2 Vanquisher tank commanders, a commissar with, I think the commissar has a special order that lets him order every unit, so I think that's why he's in there, is to order the tanks. Then he's got 3-3-2 Lehman Russ executioners, so it's 8 Lehman Russ plasma executioners, all with heavy flamers. Heavy flamers.
Okay.
Round.
Okay.
Just. Yeah, 3 each.
That's Overwatch. That's like nothing.
I mean,
you're not charging
it's
me at all.
planar meta right now. Let's be honest.
100%. I take a -1 to hit shooting into combat, and he's probably gonna ram these at you.
Oh yeah.
Turn 1. It's like -1 nothing auto hits. It's really quite cute. Then he's got 2 mortar teams, and Adam puts in a hearty "let's go" at the end of this because I love this list. This is freaking cool.
That's a lot.
I heard he likes Lehman Russes.
I've got 13.
So they're not using the data slate for this event, so they don't get armor contempt, or they are.
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm of the opinion then.
Someone threw in the chat that look. I don't
think they are. I don't think they are using it.
So indirect fire and then maybe not armor contempt. So I mean, let's see. Let's have this codex just stand by itself and see what happens.
That's right, man.
8th player in the U.S. West. So the reason so I don't know if we cover this recently, but some of the lists that we bring out, we highlighted each and one of these events is the based on their IGC rankings, because we want to know what some of the top players in the world are bringing to some of these events. I'm sure y'all want to know that as well, especially as we start to get towards what is all to be considered the championships of the ITC court to the LVO. So these players may have already gotten all the points they can get from some of these types of events, and just doing some experimentation like you were mentioning earlier. Also, this might be the archetypes of what's forming up to what you might see people trying to get the faction podiums, the faction championships at the end of the ITC season.
Dude, exactly right. And all that and more. But on top of that, I think this is an oppressive shooting army. This brings a lot of the issues that Votan brings, but it ain't afraid to get stuck into combat, which is the key difference. Because the turret weapons on all these guys just shoots out of combat. Just like, well, we're just going to shoot whatever I want. As long as it's not into another combat, I can do whatever I like.
Shoots better. It's like I'm still I'm a turret weapon. Hit one better.
And then he's just copping 3 heavy flamers for the privilege. And then, he's going to ram some more tanks into your next turn because it doesn't actually stop him doing anything. I really like this. I believe the mortar teams are just there to sit out of line of sight on objectives. Just be like, there's the 2 things that'll still contribute whilst being out of line of sight. And because it's a spearhead. This does look weird in the fact that he has... he only has 5 heavy supports. There's no problems. But yeah, the Lehman Russ Vanquisher is in the 3rd of the squadron. So it's 3x3 Lehman Russes. 8 of them are executioners. 1 of them is a Vanquisher. Just in case anybody thought the list might not be kosher.
Wow. What's taking this thing?
Oh God!
I knew Adam was going to say that. There was
yes.
No
All right, what do you guys think?
So, I actually, in the meta I'm looking at with this list of armies that are here, I think this Death Guard player actually, I like this
What?
list a lot. Yeah,
What?
yeah, Death Guard.
What?
Yeah, all this damage too. What damage too? I ain't never heard of it.
Death Guard doing really well. I mean, I feel like I haven't said Blood Angels in a while, so.
Are there any here?
Are there any?
There's two. There's two. You're
There's
good.
two. All right. You're okay. All right.
I'm waiting for the time when Paul says, I'm going Blood Angels, and there's none there, and he's like, he makes a phone call.
No, that means I'm on the way. That means I'm coming. I'm coming to your event.
Yeah.
I'll take care of this.
Yeah. No, but actually, I guess probably if we're going with weight of numbers, 9 demons there, and demons also been knocking on the door. And looking if flamers are the boogeyman that they are, I mean, certainly 10%, probably 14% of the armies there have flamers in them.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, the T-Sun's armies there. See, I'm really reluctant to do all the soup factions. Like, if you're listed as Khorne, I'll find out which dominant faction you are, and I'll put you as that. Yeah. Because every time because it can be so different. Because you guys all know I do most of the stats for this show. When someone lists as Tzeentch, that could be Tzeentch demons with Bellicor, which some people have listed as Tzeentch. That could be just T-Suns and demons. That could be just Tzeentch marked CSM and demons. It could be so many different things. So I just break it down to the parent faction and to list you as that, rather than having to do 13 different breakdowns of what chaos is for this event. So that's just for ease of your guys' digestion. I can tell you, every time you've seen T-Suns this week, there is probably at least half of them have flamers in them for every T-Suns listed for this week's show.
Nice.
Yeah, I can see that.
You've done the chat proud by proclaiming Guard to be a winner of a tournament, and it felt it beam through you, which I appreciate.
Thank you.
I'm also a Guard player, so I'm looking forward to see what some of these generals do for their list, because it's going to influence like hobby time and model time, that kind of stuff. So absolutely amazing. Did you let people know that we have a palate cleanser at the end of this episode?
This is all you, Paul.
They know what's going on. They know what's up.
We have a palate cleanser at the end of each of these episodes we call the Fuego Rapido. Although I was at an exhibit this past weekend to where they had a section of the exhibit called the Freaky Dados, which I understand is Portuguese for fun trivia, maybe. So we might bring in a Freaky Dados section at some point in the show. But right now, we have...
What are you saying, Paul? Are you saying we're scraping the bottom of some kind of proverbial barrel here?
No. I'm saying that's like a middle show thing. That's a fun trivia might be a middle show thing for the future. But the Fuego Rapido is sometimes this has very little to do with Warhammer 40,000 or Warhammer at all. But this, after we've actually talked about all of these crunchy stats and everything, we like a little bit of a moment of zen or whatever. Well, we give ourselves some topics that we run down. These would be submitted by either production on the show, which we invite production to come on and help run this segment for us, friends of the show, the chat, or whatever. So if you have any Fuego Rapido suggestions, please feel free to throw them at us on any of the social medias, throw some comments, that kind of stuff in there. But we give ourselves 2 minutes to talk about each topic. And then once those 2 minutes are up, we just stop the clock, we stop the talk, and we never come back to these topics again. So, we gotta let your heart sing for 2 minutes with each one of these. And with that, I'll invite Tech Priest Dicky. Welcome.
What is up? Let's do this.
Let's do it.
He's excited.
Who would you want?
Bring the energy, Dicky.
Oh, you're wasting seconds. Who would you want as a robot sidekick? Go.
Okay. Do they have to be sidekick? I know Voltron. Voltron's like a strong.
Yeah, but he would like man mode you. He would be like, "No, you're my."
But is Voltron? Are you going with old Voltron where it's just controlled by the pilots, or are you going with new Voltron where the Lions can do stuff by themselves?
Yeah, I'm going to veto Voltron. As much as my heart would sing, I'm going to veto Bumblebee.
I'm going R2-D2 all the way. R2-D2 every step of the way, because he will keep you honest.
Dude, never fails in a task. Just knocked it out of the park.
Honest. I don't know if that's the thing you want.
Joel Adkins has said maybe Siegler.
Yeah. True.
It's good as. Dustin?
See, there's a lot of robots out there. I'm trying to think of one that won't bully me out of not being the sidekick anymore, like Voltron would, or any of the Transformers for that matter. And I want something that would be able to help me more than R2-D2 would. R2-D2
help you more than R2-D2.
Help you more?
That is
stores your lightsaber. What's going on?
Disarms the Death Star, get you the codes, stops the crushers of the.
Or you just mean something more imposing?
Yeah.
I think something more imposing because right now, like I feel like R2D2 is a chihuahua of a robot. I would have as a. It's like, yeah, you'd love the thing, but would it really guard your house? You know, would a
Fair.
burglar go into there, see the chihuahua, and go, "Oh God, no, I can't rob here."
He did zap Yoda that one time.
You did zap
Yeah.
Yoda. That's right.
Yeah.
And Yoda's pretty imposing, man.
That's right. That's right.
Seagull, stop it now.
Yeah. It's gonna be stuck in my head the rest of the day.
That's
thank you.
Uh,
5 seconds.
nah, I can't think of a good one. Oh,
It's too late.
Fuego.
Never
Sorry.
know. We'll never know.
I never know. You'll never know. I just thought of it.
That was
I just
that
thought
was
of it.
perfect. That was perfect.
Okay, best robot themed song or band.
Haven't we done this?
Our band.
before?
Oh, yeah. The Cybertronic Spree is the best robot band. Cybertronic Spree is the best for this. But if I'm going for robot theme song that is not self-aware that it's a robot theme song, has to be early anime Dengayo, where they talk about the cross fight.
Oh, I don't know what that is, so it must be cool.
Send you a link later.
Robot themed song / band. Does Daft Punk count as robot themed?
I
Is there
mean,
robots?
You can't tell me they're
Kind
not
of?
robots.
Yeah, that's my pick. Daft Punk, 100%. Let's do it.
okay. You
Ooh,
know they're
Iron Man.
they're
Iron
French.
Man.
I
Black
didn't know
Sabbath.
that.
It was
They're,
good.
yeah, they're French
I didn't
robot
know
band.
that. Yeah, French robot men. If I see, for me, I think I'm thinking of. I don't know if you guys ever saw that anime, but have you've ever seen? You better. Have you seen Evangelion?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We were to have a very serious discussion if you had. But the theme that plays
We
whenever
need more time on the clock.
whenever the theme that
A
plays when
lot.
Ava 1 goes berserk.
Oh yeah,
That was actually I love that. That theme.
was cool. That was cool.
And like, I'm
that was
letting
like
you
you listen to
easy
like, oh, it's about to go down.
because
Such
I
rip
could
it
probably
to
sing
fight.
all the Minmay songs from Robotech. Those don't count as robot themed songs, maybe. But
They're kind of robot themed.
yeah, Minmay and Yellow Dancer, I could probably give this the whole,
You
the whole
know,
deal.
I actually have all of Robotech on VHS.
Nice.
Dating myself a little bit here. I have no way to play it, but I have it.
Yeah.
You have it. Yeah.
Robotech is the best. I remember like having to like make sure I was home. But there we go.
Right.
Fuego. All right. How does the robot generated apocalypse on Earth actually occur?
Okay, so it starts with the calculator.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
Was
Going
it
way back.
with boobs? We had to take boobs
Yeah.
on it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
80085 people.
Ow, that hit the green screen's hard. Oh,
Dustin's having too much fun over here.
Yeah.
that hurt.
Tesla's in chat is how it's.
Well, see, I'm trying to say one that actually is unlikely because most of the ones I'm thinking about right now, I'm like, oh, that's a little bit
Yeah, it's still too much. Too dark.
possible. A little bit too
Too
possible.
When grim dark is too grim
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, I'm like, we probably get an implant put into our brains, and then the robots take over to
Yeah.
make them metal bodies, and it's
Did
like
you
Ultron,
see that
like
they
kinda
are
like that.
testing implant like chips
Yes.
in the head now?
No,
Yeah.
we're already given the algorithms like all the info it needs to do.
It's done. It's
you
done.
know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
it's-
like.
It's once AI is actually created, when AI can actually learn on its own, that's what starts it. If
Oh.
you ever watch the Boston Dynamics, their robots that are doing like parkour and stuff, they look so freaking cool.
Yeah,
Though
cool.
that's where it's going to start, because those things will be able to kick our butts. They're going to start showing up in like the Olympics and stuff, dressed as humans. You're not even going to be able to tell. You're like, oh my god, this thing is running so fast. How's this guy doing that? But it's actually not a guy; it's a robot.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably already happened.
It's
just don't
already
know
happened, yeah.
What's the,
and I'd say Dicky keeps resetting the clock.
I know.
Also,
I keep
How much time do we have? I don't. What's
Looks
going
like
on?
AR is starting to take over.
What's the
Believe me, I'm tuned in.
guys? What's the festival that happens out in the desert? That's where everyone's
That's
like
the Burning Man.
Burning Man, where they scrap build. It's all like cyber. It's all like steampunk and all that crazy crap and all those different aesthetics. I think it starts there. Someone builds something really wacky and cool to try and impress their mates, and it starts taking over. It absorbs all the steampunk stuff, and we go back in time to like the mid 1800s, but it's just sentient robots. It's going to be cool. It's actually going to be cool, guys.
It's going to be cool. We're going to be really impressed before we get conquered.
Yes. We're going to be like, oh, that's some great engineering.
Yep.
All right. Bring it back to Warhammer. Best Warhammer robot model.
There are very few robot models.
Silent King.
Oh, I mean, you could go any Necron, but I don't think any Necron is the best model. They have cool models, but I wouldn't
Coolest
call
model
any of them the
is
best.
Castellan robot.
That's what I was going to say.
Straight faced.
Yeah, because you
Wow.
can make all Castellan robots look like different Mavericks from Mega Man, and that's what I would do if I ever
Yeah.
made an Agma
No,
army. It would just be
it's
Castellan
definitely-
robots and different Mavericks and different robots, enemy robots.
It's the
It's so
closest
cool.
thing that we got to Danger Will Robinson. You know, it's like,
That's true.
yeah.
Are you also saying
Although that
'cause
thing's not threatening.
Are you also saying that because the closest thing you have to R2D2?
No, what is
No.
the closest thing we have to R2D2?
And we're taking over this Fago question, by the way. So, what is the closest thing to R2D2 that we have in this game?
Isn't there a monkey robot that gives you guns and stuff? What is
So-
it?
No, that's a Jokero, and they're not a robot. They're just cyber.
I'm looking
ants
at my
and,
shelf as if the answer's going to be there, but I don't think it is.
So there is a robot. There is a robot that Arkan Land has in the Horus Heresy trilogy.
Yes.
It's not trilogy. The Siege of Terra series. That is probably close to R2D2, if I'm remembering right. It's been a bit.
Both can have a lot of
Yeah.
robots, right?
It's a
Or
monkey.
AI.
Yeah, the Votan could actually definitely have one of those. Hell, I think the Helm Bearer for Azrael could easily be R2D2. Like that's
But that's a Watcher in the Dark.
They're a watcher, right? They're not robots.
It's a
yeah,
living
but it's
thing,
R2D2
It's like a
could be a
demon.
watcher. Are you saying that R2D2 couldn't deny psychic powers? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of,
No,
right?
no,
I
He
know.
he has not exhibited any force denial
Absolute-
powers that we know.
He
of.
has because he hasn't needed to. He's never been in
Oh,
a situation
God.
where he's
All
had to deny it.
All right.
All right.
I have two answers. Both of them come from the Forge World Mechanicum range. One of them is the Thanatar, Mechanicus Thanatar, Siege
That's a good one.
Automata.
Yeah, and we're out of time,
Beautiful.
so you never get
Yeah.
to hear the second one. never get to hear it. That's the rule. We have very few rules here.
That's it. That's right. No, you're totally correct.
What are you I better talk fast. What are you hoping for Dark Admech?
Oh,
So-
that'd be cool.
What's the So I was just looking at it. You know the what's the Scorpion character from the Forge World Mechanicum range? Scorpia.
Rock.
Yeah,
The Rock.
Scorpion
The
King.
Rock.
For about half a second, I thought you were serious, and I was really confused.
Where is it? Where is?
How beautiful is that movie though? The Scorpion King. It's like it couldn't be any better.
Taking over this Fuego too.
We are. It is Anacris Scoria, the Xenophane tyrant. It's like the scorpion-looking
Yes.
dark mech special character. I want that aesthetic. I want freaking bug. I want bug aesthetic, insect aesthetic.
No,
Admech. Yeah,
no, I don't want
I
that
do.
because then I want it, and I don't
that's
want
right.
that.
That's right. I want centipede. Yeah, dude. I want spiders. I want
only.
scorpions. I want freaking crustacean-like looking barnacle. That weird looking. Yeah, that's what I want.
That would be bad. I don't want that.
You can't argue, yeah, because it feels like it's hurting the checkbook.
Yeah, it is literally. I'm thinking about like I would 100% be buying that army if that's what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think definitely some lightning things that look like they're
Purple
prone that could just disrupt and erupt at any point in time, like ramshackle stuff that's just held together by
Yeah.
like anger.
Man, too angry to die.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about what I want them to be because it could very well happen, and I don't want it to because then I buy it, and that's like as much as that would be cool. Like
and so
I
all the
don't
product
want-
designers are like, okay, and what was that
Yeah.
again? Held together
Yeah.
by anger.
I'm
and,
not giving you that
and-
that fuel.
and looking like a bug, but angry
Like a
bugs.
bug.
Angry bugs.
Robot
Angry
bugs?
fish. Yeah.
All right. What is the best thing about Bender Bending Rodriguez?
His in your face personality,
Wow.
which is a quote from the show. Which is Leela's favorite thing about Bender.
Yeah, I like it's very practical.
Best thing about it, that he's not in my life.
I was gonna say is that I feel like this is the wrong question to have at the end, but whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, because he's not somebody that I want to be friends with in real life. He's not somebody I want to associate with in real life.
Okay, let me change this question just a little bit.
Okay,
just
go.
a tad
Go.
bit.
Yes.
If you could put your head in a jar, and 10,000 years from now, you only could say one sentence. What would that sentence be?
Whoa, we need 2 more minutes.
Nope, you only got a minute. Dustin, you got 30, 45 seconds.
Why is it me? What? You have to think about that for that's something you have to think about for your whole life, to be not pretentious, not stupid, and
You can at least
try to be insightful, baby.
One sentence.
One sentence. What was the number? What was the answer in
40,
Hitchhikers?
42.
That's what I'd say. The answer is 42. That's my line. That's it. Hello, children. I'm a floating head. The answer is 42. Move on.
Yep. Drink more Ovaltine.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I want to either. I'd say that. I want to say something really obscure, like I'm not sure it was purple.
Yeah.
If I was trying to be serious, it would just be live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
There
If
you
I
go.
wasn't trying to be serious, it would be I was Batman.
I'm Batman.
Wouldn't it be cool if he was like, this is the meaning of life, and like you're like me, and then you just stop the sentence right after that, and you
No,
just
you're thinking way too deep. This is like a service that people would sell. Like your one line would be meaningless to the humanity. Like
That's true.
I appreciate the fact you've tried to. Well, we're out of time.
It's over.
Game over, man.
That's our show this week. Seriously, this has been a blast, and thanks for hanging in here with us this whole time, and chat being as active as you always are. It means a whole lot to see. If you're listening to this after the fact, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, leave us some 5-star reviews, leave some comments down below. That's how you trick the algorithms into have other people come hang out with us during the live show, or hang out with us, listen to us after the fact and that kind of stuff. It means a whole lot. Really appreciate it. That is our show this week. This has been a great one.
Absolutely has.
Always is. Love hanging out with you guys. You in the chat as well. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you next week.
Thanks for the
more
super chats.
content.
Yeah, thanks for the
Yeah.
nice super chats.
Didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah, we didn't know it was a thing. You guys
Yeah,
figured something out for us.
Check out the rest of the shows on the network. I'm sure it would mean a lot to them. We will see y'all next week, where we'll talk about more tournament list and the meta going into LVO championships coming up next year. We'll see y'all.
I was Batman.